Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into webinars for online businesses today.
Sounds exciting.
It is, especially with this article from blogwidow.com.
I know Blog Widow.
Yeah, it's called How to Use Webinars to Generate Leads and Sales for Your Online Business, published March 3rd, 2025.
Got it.
And it's got some really interesting stuff, so I
Oh.
can't wait to break it down with you.
Awesome, yeah.
Right off the bat, they talk about defining your webinar's purpose.
Yeah,
Is it for leads or going straight for the sale?
I mean, that makes a huge difference, right?
Is it, how much does that actually change your approach?
It changes everything. Seriously, it's foundational. Your content, how you promote it, even the structure of the webinar itself, it all comes back to that initial decision.
So give me an example.
Okay, imagine a software company.
Okay, got it.
If they're doing a webinar for lead generation, they might focus on giving advice,
Right.
a problem their audience has.
Yeah.
And their software's like one solution, but it's not the whole focus.
Okay,
But
got
a
it.
sales-focused webinar, they'd be showcasing the software, the features, the benefits, and there'd be a very clear call to action to buy it.
So it's like choosing the right tool.
Exactly.
You wouldn't use a hammer to, tighten a screw.
Right, you need the right tool for the job.
Speaking of the right tools, the article's big on content being king, which,
Of course.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but what does great content even mean for a webinar?
I think a lot of people say content is king, but don't know what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for webinars, because people are giving you their time.
Right.
So it has to be worth it.
Totally.
So address their pain points directly, offer solutions they can use, and make it visually appealing.
Yeah, visuals.
Don't just have slides full of text. Nobody wants that.
Oh, I've been to those. It's so boring.
Right. You can practically hear people clicking away.
Yeah. It's like they're afraid to make it engaging.
Engagement is key, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even before that, you need people to actually show up.
Oh, right, the promotion.
Exactly. The article talks about all that: email marketing, social media ads, even working with influencers.
I've seen some businesses do early bird incentives
Oh, yeah?
or really targeted landing pages that speak to one specific problem.
It makes people feel like you're speaking directly to them.
Yes, and that makes them much more likely to sign up.
This article mentions something interesting, during registration, you capture specific pain points people mention.
Okay.
So it's not just a generic sign up for my webinar message.
You're already tailoring it to what they need.
Exactly. Which makes everything that comes after so much more powerful.
Okay, this is what I love about webinars.
What's that?
They're incredible lid magnets.
Oh, totally. People are basically giving you their contact info just to register, and that permission to continue the conversation is gold.
And the article's really big on making that registration process easy.
Absolutely. It should be a breeze.
What have you seen work well to get those signups?
I think keeping the registration form short is huge. Nobody wants to fill out a novel.
Oh, for sure.
And the article mentioned asking targeted questions during registration.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
It's like you're qualifying leads right there.
You can personalize everything based on their answers.
And it makes people feel like they're part of a conversation.
Yes. Not just another name on a list.
It's like that personal touch.
Yeah, that makes you feel seen, which is so important these days.
Totally. Especially online.
Right.
Now you've got these attendees.
Yeah.
You got to keep them engaged.
Right. Nobody wants to sit through an hour of just someone talking.
Like a talking head, just droning on and on.
It's all about creating an experience, something dynamic and interactive.
The article suggests polls and quizzes.
Yeah, those are great.
And of course, Q&A.
Always a classic for a reason.
So what actually keeps people glued to the screen during a webinar? A charismatic presenter.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone who connects with the audience. Someone who's not afraid to show some personality, maybe a little humor.
Yes. And I love a good story.
Oh, stories are so powerful.
If the presenter, weaves in a relevant anecdote,
It makes it memorable.
it does. It makes it stick.
It becomes a conversation, not just a presentation.
And that's how you start moving people toward taking action, which...
Which is what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah,
The call to action.
Exactly. Stay tuned.
Can't wait. Hashtag TTS, the Deep Dive episode 2025, Zoo 304, part 2 of 3. Okay, so you've got their attention. They're interested. Now it's time to guide them towards taking action with a great call to action.
That's where it gets tricky, right? Because you don't want to be too pushy.
Exactly. You need that sweet spot.
Yeah, where it feels natural and compelling.
Well, the article had some good points about it, First, it needs to be crystal clear.
Makes sense.
You want them to know exactly what to do next, whether it's booking a call or signing up or even buying something right then and there.
And it should align with what the whole webinar was about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If your webinar's on, say, productivity tips, and then your call to action is to buy a cookbook, that's not going to work.
People would be so confused.
Right. It's got to make sense.
I've seen some people use, like, urgency in their calls to action.
Oh, yeah, that FOMO.
Yeah, like a limited time discount or, bonus content if you sign up now.
That can be really effective.
It's like, don't miss out.
Exactly. People don't want to feel like they're missing something.
Okay, so let's say we've got people interested. Maybe they even take action on the call to action. How do we actually get them to become paying customers?
I mean, the biggest thing is trust, right?
Trust. Yeah.
People buy from people they trust.
Like if you have a favorite local store,
Yeah.
you know the owner, you like their stuff.
You trust their recommendations.
Exactly. You're way more likely to buy from them than some, big corporation you've never heard of.
That's such a good point. And webinars can do that too,
Really?
Yeah, you build that connection during the webinar
Okay, but how?
by being authentic, by being generous with your expertise, and by engaging with the people who are there.
So it's more than just having good content.
Yeah, it's about, being relatable.
Letting your personality show.
People connect with people, not robots.
That's so true.
And once they feel that connection, they're more likely to trust your recommendations, to trust you enough to become a customer.
Okay, so we've built that trust, we've given them great content, and now, what are the specific things we can do to actually get them to buy?
Offer them something irresistible, something they can't refuse.
Like what?
Maybe a discount, but only for people who attended the webinar. Or a bundle of resources that are super valuable.
Ooh, like that.
Or early access to a new product or service.
Oh, like a VIP thing?
Exactly. It makes them feel special, like they're getting something exclusive.
And they don't want to miss out.
Right. That FOMO again.
Speaking of things people don't want to miss out on, the article talked about addressing objections.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Like people might be thinking, is this really for me? Is it worth the money?
You got to get ahead of those doubts.
How do we do that?
By anticipating them, by literally saying, you might be thinking this, but here's why you shouldn't worry.
Oh, I see.
And then you back it up if you share testimonials from happy customers.
Right.
Or offer a money-back guarantee.
So there's no risk.
Exactly. Or just answer their questions clearly and directly.
It's all about reassurance.
It is. It's about making people feel confident in their decision.
Okay, but what if they still don't buy?
Well, remember, not everyone buys right away.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes they need a little nudge, a little more information, a little follow-up.
Follow-up, that's a whole other beast.
It is, but it's where the real magic happens.
So the webinar ends, and that's not the end of the story.
No way, it's just the beginning.
So how do we follow up without being annoying? I don't want to just spam people with sales email.
You're right, it can't be all about selling.
Yeah, what should we do then?
Give them value every time you reach out.
Okay.
Send them useful content, related to the webinar topic.
Go.
Or offer them some additional resources, maybe invite them to another webinar that goes deeper.
So, keep the conversation going.
Exactly. It's not buy. It's, hey, I'm here to help.
I've gotten those follow-up emails that are actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they give me information, they answer my questions, and it feels like they genuinely care.
And that makes a difference.
It does. It makes me more likely to trust them.
And remember all that data we talked about capturing during registration?
Yeah.
Use it. Personalize your follow-up emails. Make people feel like you're talking directly to them.
It's that personal touch again.
It all comes back to that.
It's like, what's that saying? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's all about.
So we've covered building trust, creating those irresistible offers, getting ahead of objections, and following up in a way that actually works.
We've pretty much covered the whole customer journey.
Is there anything else we should know about turning attendees into customers?
One thing people often forget is the technical side of things.
Oh, right, the tech.
You can have amazing content, a killer call to action. But if your webinar is a technical mess, it's all for nothing.
Like the audio's cutting out or the slides are stuck.
I've been to those webinars.
It's so
The chat's blowing up with people complaining. It's just a bad experience.
It's like you're invited to a fancy dinner party, but the food is burnt and they're serving it on paper plates.
That's a great analogy. You got to
Yeah.
set the stage, and that includes the tech.
Okay, so what are the must-haves for the technical side? I don't want to be the one Googling how to fix microphone in the middle of my presentation. #TTS, The Deep Dive, episode 2025-0304. part 3 of 3.
First things first, you need a good webinar platform.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There are a ton of them out there.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
They all have different features, different prices.
Right.
So, like, really do your research, maybe try out a few free trials. Find one that works for you, for what you need, and what you can afford.
So it's kind of like choosing a venue for a concert.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
You wouldn't book like a heavy metal band in a tiny coffee shop.
Right. No.
You want a space that fits the vibe.
And that can handle the crowd.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got the platform.
Next up, tech check. You have to test everything.
Everything.
Your internet, your microphone, camera, any software you're using.
Yeah, it's a sound check before the show.
Exactly. You don't want to get up there and realize your mic's not working.
Oh, I've been in webinars where the audio is so bad.
It's the worst.
It's like they're underwater.
Good microphone makes such a difference.
It does, and stable internet.
Oh, huge.
I get nervous just thinking about my internet cutting out mid-webinar.
Yeah, it's like stage fright for the digital age.
It really is. So what if something goes wrong? Like, do we need a backup plan?
Always have a plan B. Always.
Okay, so backup internet, spare laptop, what else?
Maybe a co-host or someone who can handle tech stuff.
So they can fix things behind the scenes,
Exactly. You stay focused on your presentation,
like a stage manager.
keeping everything running smoothly.
I like it. Okay, so tech is handled. What about like the visual side of things?
Oh, that's important too.
We talked about engaging content, but how you present it matters too, right?
It does. People are visual, you know?
Yeah.
They want to see things that are interesting.
Right.
Use visuals that make your message stronger.
Okay.
High quality images, videos, maybe even share your screen to show them how something works.
I've seen webinars that are like mini productions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with like professional graphics and videos. It's really impressive.
It shows you put in the effort
It makes it feel really high quality.
and that you value your audience's time.
This has been so helpful. We've covered so much.
We have from start to finish.
Defining the purpose, creating amazing content, getting people to sign up, turning them into customers, and even like all the tech stuff.
That's a lot to think about.
It is, but it's all important.
Any last thoughts for our listeners? Remember, webinars are a powerful tool, but they're not magic.
Right.
You need to put in the work, be strategic, and be willing to adapt.
Try new things, experiment a little.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
And learn from them. The webinar world is always changing, so, stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly,
What's most important?
stay passionate about connecting with your audience and sharing what you know.
I love that. So well said.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing all this amazing information about webinars with us.
It was my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep rocking those webinars.
See you next time.
Until then, happy hosting.